Welcome back to my channel. It's Tavia. If you're new here, welcome. I'm new here too, so we in this together. Alright, so today I'm going to be installing Microlinks by Y Wigs. I have 16, 18, and 20-inch Afro Kinky curly texture. So I'm just going to hold it up to my hair so you can see how well this texture matches my hair. I'm already hype. I'm ready to get started. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and wash my hair because I did have some products in it from a wash and go, and I also co-washed the Microlinks. So I'm holding up to my hair one more time so you can see how good the texture match still is. My hair is a little bit kinkier, but I think this is a really good match. All right, so I'm going to start by blow drying my hair. Okay, so my hair already started drying a little bit, so I'm just going to add some water to keep it damp, and I'm going to be using my favorite blow dry mist by Kenra. I love this blow dry mist because it's super light and it makes your hair very shiny. It doesn't weigh your hair down at all, and that's what I need for installing these Microlinks. And I'm going to be using my handless red blow dryer. Let me tell you about this thing. I don't blow dry my hair very often, maybe a handful of times throughout the year. So this blow dryer was like $25 and it's amazing. I love the handless design. It makes it really easy and it really gets the job done. Also, let me put up my mirror before I get really into it because I don't have eyes in the back of my head, and this is just going to help me out with all the parting and everything that I'm going to have to do for the Microlinks. I'm just going to finish blow drying my hair. I'm just going to get it as straight as I can with the blow dryer. I'm not going to be flat ironing, and I'm also going to blow dry the Microlinks. This is just going to help me to see better, to part my hair, and try to make it as neat as possible. Okay, I'm just checking the texture match one more time now that it's blown out, and yes, it is still hitting. All right, so I'm going to move on to sectioning out my leave out. I'm going to do a middle part and some hair around the edges. I'm going to leave a little bit more hair out than I normally would with a traditional sew-in, or maybe if I was just wearing like a U-part wig or something like that, because I want to make sure all my Microlinks are covered up when I want to switch styles, when I want to put it up in a ponytail or half up, half down, a bun. I just want to make sure my Microlinks aren't peeking through. So I suggest leaving a little bit more hair out than normal. Okay, so now I'm sectioning my first row where I'm going to add the Microlinks, and it does need to be kind of small because you have to fit each piece of hair through the link. So make sure you're not making your sections too big. Okay, so now I'm just checking to make sure I kind of have it as even as possible on both sides. And I'm just going to comb out my Microlinks to get them ready to install. So here is the link. This is what it looks like. It's already pre-looped, which is going to speed up this process so much. And I also have some pliers that you're going to need to squeeze the link together. So I'm going to start by taking a small piece. All right, so now I'm just going to take the loop and pull my hair through it. And then there's going to be a little kind of tab that you pull. You pull that through and it automatically pulls your hair through it. So if you've seen any other installs of Microlinks or micro loops, you have to have several pieces. And this is already included. Everything's already laid out for you. Then you're just going to take your pliers and clamp it down, and that is it. So simple. And I just want to show you guys how easy it is to take out. I'm also doing this for myself because I want to make sure I know how to uninstall or remove any type of weaves beforehand. So you see how easy that was? You just clamp it in the opposite direction and you slide it out. All right, so I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go ahead and put that first one back in and just loop your hair around and then find that tab and pull it through. It's so simple. You don't have to have all those other pieces. The loops are separate, the links are separate, and a lot of other brands that do the links, but this is why I love the Y Wigs. It's going to make your installation process so much faster and easier, because who has time to do all those other things? So I'm just going to move it along here. So this one here, this is a perfect example of using too much hair. So this next section was a little too big to fit through the Microlink, and you'll see like it just won't fit through. And if you try to force it, you're actually probably going to just break the link, and then you'll just have to like use a different one. So just make sure your pieces are small enough. As you go through it, you'll find that sweet spot of how much hair or how little hair you need to use to get it through the microlink. So you can see here, I took some of the hair out of that piece and made it a little bit smaller. And now I'm just gonna pull it through. This was the right amount. And I also noticed that if you slide it down your hair to where maybe your hair is like not as thick at the root. My hair was still pretty puffy at the root. So it was really hard to pull it through at the root. So I slid it down a little bit so it could be easier to slide through. And then I'm going to clamp it. Also, make sure you don't clamp it so close to your root. You want to give yourself a little space so you can move it around. You don't want it to be too tight because it will hurt if you try to put it up in a ponytail or style it in any other way. So moving along, I'm at the back section now. And what I will say is, in hindsight, I would have actually flat ironed my hair to make it as straight as possible. I would have moved much faster, and I would have been able to get the micro links through much easier. I just didn't want to flat iron my hair. I don't straighten my hair that much. I don't blow dry it that much. So I was just trying to, save my hair from an unnecessary flat iron, but it really would have helped if I'd have done that. So when I do these again, because I already know I'm going to do this again because I love it already, I will flat iron my hair and make it as straight as possible. I think I'll just get through the whole process way faster. So you can see here, another thing I started doing is sliding it down a little bit because my roots definitely weren't straight. They're still a little puffy. So I just slid it down to where it wasn't as puffy so I could get it through the link, and then I pushed it up and clamped it down with the pliers. So that also helped. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this without straightening their hair. They kept their hair in their natural state and just put the micro links in like that because they didn't want to straighten their hair either. But I think for me, I would end up putting in way too much hair. Like, I like volume, but my head's kind of small, so I don't need a million pieces of hair in my head. So if you straighten it, I think you'll get a better idea of how much hair you're putting in your hair. If you keep it in your natural state, your pieces are going to have to be smaller because you're not going to be able to pull the link through. So I think you'll end up putting in more hair than you need, if that makes sense. Okay, so now that I've done a few rows, I got the hang of it. I'm in the zone now. I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit so you can see the rest of the install. Okay, I'm finally finished. I think that took me about maybe 3 to 4 hours. And don't be like me and start at midnight, but I know this is just what we do sometimes. We start late because we just got other things going on in life. But I just really wanted to get it done. But I'm going to take a quick break and come right back. All right. Yes, let there be light. That is the sun coming up. But I'm determined I'm going to get this finished because I got a lot to do today. Okay, so now I'm just going to take down my leave out and make sure I left enough out to cover all the links for all the styles that I want to do. Okay, can we get into this texture match one more time? It matches my hair so good. I haven't even put a flat iron to it or anything, and it's matching really good. So I'm just gonna play around with it a little bit, make sure I made enough of a leave out to cover everything. And the good thing is, if I didn't, I could just take a few out, but I think I did. I think I left enough out. So this is how it looks in the back. Yep, the amount of leave out that I made was perfect. So now I'm going to move on and I'm going to straighten my leave out. I'm using this Rusk thermal flat iron spray. I actually found it in TJ Maxx. Never seen or heard of it before, but I was like, hey, let me give it a try. And now I'm hooked. I used it all the time when I flat iron my hair, and it really protects against moisture and sweat in any type of like humidity. So I'll go ahead and put that in the description box along with everything else that I'm using. But can we just stop and take a minute and give a shout out to my new growth? My hair is growing, y'all. I had to do a chop earlier this year. I was so sad because all the progress I had made the year before, I just had to chop it off. But I'm finally getting back, almost back to where it was. So shout out to my new growth. So I'm going to do a couple of quick pass-throughs with my flat iron through the Microlinks. I'm not trying to get it bone straight. I just want to get it straight enough just to knock some of the frizz out and to get it closer to the texture of my hair after I just flat ironed it. Okay, so there we go. It's not bone straight, but it's straight enough. It's matching my hair texture still. So I'm going to just play around with it a little bit more. I'm going to put it up in a half up, half down ponytail. I'm a half up, half down girl, y'all. It's like my favorite way to wear my hair. I really don't wear it down too much. I usually have it half up or all the way up. And the texture, y'all, are you getting into this? It's like matching my hair perfectly. Now, I would just leave it like this. I really like it like this. I would just rock it like this for the rest of the day. But I don't want to play myself because I actually have to teach my dance class tonight. So you already know, if any of you guys have taken my class or heard of Bruckwine, you know how we get down in our class. I will be sweating tonight, so I just said, let me go ahead and put it up in a bun so I can preserve it. I just did all that straightening and flat ironing, so I will put it up in a bun so I can prevent some of the frizzing from the sweat. And I also like to see how it holds up through sweating. So I usually like to wear any new hairstyles I do to class just to see how it holds up so I can let y'all know if it's sweat proof or not. All right, so I'll be back after class. Okay, so it's really like 2 days later, and I did like 2 workouts. I did a class and I did a workout at home. So it's 2 days and 2 workouts later, and it's still holding up. I mean, my hair is a little frizzy, but that's to be expected. But look at the Microlinks. They're still pretty straight, not too frizzy. So if any of you are wondering how it holds up with sweat and humidity, it's pretty good. It's officially Bruckwine approved, and it will hold up through your workouts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it a little bit of some more shape at the ends. I didn't get a chance to trim it or do anything the other day, so I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to give it a little bit more shape at the ends. I did use a 16, 18, and 20, so it did kind of help me out. It's already kind of layered, but I still need to get the ends right because some of the ends are a little straggly, so I just want to make it all even and give it a nice little shape so it can fall nicely at the bottom. So I didn't cut too much, so you can see I just did a nice little tapered look on one side, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side as well. All right, so now I'm going to put some curls in it. We already know it looks cute straight, so let's see what it looks like and how it holds up with some curls. So I'm going to take my regular curling iron and just put some simple curls in it. I'm going to start from the base and then just keep wrapping it around until I get to the ends, and I'm just going to do that all the way through. And I'm taking kind of big pieces. I don't really want tiny curls. I just want some nice, bouncy, fluffy curls. Okay, all the curls are in, and I just separated them with my fingers. I didn't use a brush or anything because I still wanted them to stay pretty fluffy, and the curls came out good, and the layering definitely helped with how the hair falls and the curls lay and everything. And obviously you can see I can't keep my hands out my hair. So I'm going to play around with a few more styles and just see how it looks. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. Try it out and let me know what you think.